If you're trying to pay off debt or save money, the one most important thing you should do is actually contradictory to the focus of almost every personal finance app out there. Today we're going to talk about that. On a related note, I'm also out of gas. So we're going to go get some diesel fuel for this truck, and along the way I'm going to explain how this all fits together. Quick disclaimer, I'm driving, but this camera is firmly mounted. I can drive just like normal and just have a conversation. So what is the one thing that they focus on that doesn't seem to be the most important thing? It's categories. As soon as you download one of these apps, it's going to sync up with your bank accounts and it's going to start trying to categorize your expenses. If you're trying to pay off debt or you're trying to save money, the most important thing that you can do is to make sure that you spend less than you earn. Once you get through all of the big fixed expenses, call it your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, then the only thing left to really control on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is your discretionary spending, your food, your gas, your entertainment. And that category itself, call it discretionary, can have the biggest impact on your financial future. And the one biggest thing that you can do to control whether you achieve your plan for your discretionary spending or you don't is not spend money. When you decide, I want to buy this, you kind of check yourself and say, not today. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a different decision. You should be rewarded for that. And guess what? The one thing that will never fit into a category is when you didn't spend money. When you made a decision to say, I would normally probably spend this and I'm not going to today, it's the best thing you can do, and it's the one thing that you can never categorize. The app will never know about it. And the only time that a lot of these apps will really catch whether or not you overspent is at the end of like a whole monthly reconciliation period. Or they look at it by category so closely that it's like, well, you overspent what you were supposed to on pretzels this month. Oh, you see that, honey? If we spent 42% less on pickles, we could fully fund a Roth IRA. You overspent on pretzels, but congratulations, you came in 20% under on your mustard budget. See, I didn't realize it before, but 72% of my income is going to scratch-off tickets. Oh, look at that. Last month I spent $50 less than usual on CB radio components. I didn't even realize I had a CB radio. Citizens Band Radio. It's not as common anymore. It is a good CB though. Yeah, 12% of our income is going to Columbia House. Did we get this month's CD delivery? And they make so many categories and you're looking at so many things that you can easily forget the most important thing, which is group that squishy stuff together. When I say squishy, I mean the things that you can spend, easily change your spending habits and change on a minute-to-minute basis. The one thing that's the most important is that you come in under what you planned or at what you planned for that stuff all grouped into one group. And I'll add to that it's not on a monthly basis. Monthly's probably a little too long to look at for that kind of behavior. It's tough to hit that over the course of a month. It's probably a weekly basis. It could be bi-weekly. It could be twice a month. Monthly is a long time when you're looking at those little expenses. And I recommend that you do this by paycheck. So whatever your pay period is, you say for this pay period, I'm going to spend this much on food, gas, and entertainment, and I am not going to go over that number. And on a look back, none of that will matter when it comes to categories. And very few, not all, but very few of the apps that are available for personal finance right now reward or critique that kind of behavior. And you could use the categories feature to categorize all those things together into one clump, and I would encourage that, but it's just not how they're set up initially, and you'd have to configure it yourself and know that that's what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, before you flip out and say, I like categories, you can go pound sand. I want to talk about how useful they can be. If you haven't taken the time to really categorize your expenses before, you really may have some potential blind spots where you spend more than you think on something and you should find a way to rectify that. For example, for me, it was streaming services. Same thing with small Amazon purchases. They stack up over time. This is useful information. And if you're using categories right now and it's working for you, by no means should you stop. You may have 10, 20 categories you look at and you hit every one of those numbers every month and you're good with that, that's great. My argument here is it's not the main thing. The main thing is overall you spend less or exactly the same as you planned for so you can hit your plan long term, it doesn't seem like any of the popular apps put that first as the main thing. And that is exactly why I've taken you to the gas station today. I was here the other day, 2 days ago, and I put $20 in the tank. Why $20? Because I was up against my spending limit for discretionary spending for the pay period. And I'll just tell you this, I'm not somebody that really needs to worry about this week to week. I definitely have been at a point in my life, and I possibly will be again at some point in my life. But I still treat money the way that I did when I had to treat money that way. The reason I took you to fill up with me today is because this actually happened to me. I got toward the end of my discretionary spending period, and I realized I didn't have a lot left, and I was gonna park the truck. I pretty much coasted in on vapors, parked the truck at home, and once it was time for me to recharge that discretionary spending, I went out with you and we got some diesel fuel. It's probably also a good time to mention that the other day I ate some really old frozen Trader Joe's hash browns. They were pretty good, and I didn't do it because I had to. I did it because that's the whole point, is you want to hit that target. And I teach this stuff and I try my best to live this stuff. So what do we do in practice to actually make all this work? Well, the best thing to do is to get yourself an envelope and put the exact amount of cash in there that you should spend for this pay period, this time you've given yourself, and don't spend more than that. But I think we all know we're not actually going to do that with the cash. So the next best thing that you can do is give yourself a number and find any way that you want to track it. Even use those budget apps, but use them in a way that you're tracking all the number in the same place. And say, I'm not going to go above that for this pay period. And maybe your friend calls and it's toward the end of the pay period and they want to go out and get food or have drinks at your favorite spot and you just don't have much left. Do you say no? No, I don't think you say no. I think you say, let's get creative. Maybe we're going to go to Costco and grab some 99-cent White Claws and break out the lawn chairs. Maybe it's usually pizza night, but you know what? There's just not enough left. Okay. We're going to figure it out. Maybe we're digging through the freezer. We're going to find the tastiest leftovers that we can from long ago, and we're going to prepare something fun and try our best. We're not going to go over that number. Maybe you're almost out of gas. Look, if you got to get to work, maybe you blew it this pay period and you plan a little bit better next time, but you're almost out of gas. Do you really have to take that extra trip tomorrow? Do you really have to drive as far as you usually do? Or can you get creative and slow it down for just a couple days? Do you need to fill the tank, or can you get $10 and put it in there just to tide you over for a couple days? Look, I know it's a waste of time, but it's principle and it keeps you on track. I'll tell you what we're not going to do though. We're not just going to spend like we normally do and then go back at the end of the month and categorize it all and say, I guess I spend this much on going out with friends, or I guess I spend this much on pizza, or I guess I just spend this much on gas. And that's how the categories kind of came out. We're not doing that. So you get it. The main point is, the number one thing that you need to do is not the number one focus of most of these apps. And if you know that, then go forward, use the apps, learn new things, get the categories you want to, but know that that's not the focus. The focus is hit your target, especially when it comes to discretionary spending, things that aren't fixed expenses like your bills, your utilities, all that. If you're new here to the channel, welcome. You can call me E. And what we do with the Sheet Keeper channel is talk about using systems to get better with personal finance. And we're not talking about investing, retirement planning. We're talking about the basics of personal finance, which I think are the most important. Income, expenses, saving, not having any debt, and getting yourself into a place where you can start to invest in the future, or keeping yourself in a place where you can keep those investments safe. So I'm going to leave you here today because I'm going to go into this Costco and get some food so I'm not stuck eating the frozen hash browns out of the freezer. Those I'm going to save for the end of the pay period. I'll see you in the next one.